I'm Fitz, and this is the weekly retro wrestling review. Yeah, it's in your house 4. It slowly started picking up. Let's see how this one went. So it starts off first one to actually start with a national anthem, and it's the Canadian national anthem. Obviously, it's a Canadian event, but obviously you'd expect like it just continue the theme of straight in. You know what I mean? But yeah, bit of a change up for this one. Then we've got an announcement from Gorilla Monsoon announcing that Shawn Michaels, due to injury, isn't able to defend his Intercontinental title, so he's gonna have to forfeit the title to Dean Douglas, who is then gonna defend the Intercontinental title against Razor Ramon that night. Um, Shawn Michaels has got a concussion. I think in real life it's due to him talking shit in a bar and getting smacked up by some army guy. Um, but yeah, I think they're spinning it as a concussion from, I think it was from Owen Hart's kick. Not too sure, I think it was. But obviously, I'd have to go back to some old Raws to double check that. Um, then we get Vince, JR, and Lawler on commentary. Uh, Starts off pretty much straight in after a quick little talk between them three about the night. We get Fatu, obviously goes on to be Rikishi, in his Don't Do Drugs Kids phase, versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley way before the game. This is where he was still like the blue blood. I think they called it the blue blood. But yeah, it comes out in like horse riding pants and the big red jacket and that. Funnily enough, I think this might have even been that early that it was before the valets came out with him and stuff, because he come out on his own for this. And at this point, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is still currently undefeated. So it goes in. Obviously, Rikishi, Triple H, you expect it to be a decent match. It was just that. It was a decent match. Um, Fatu for the finish. Um, he misses from the top rope, and Triple H ends up hitting him with the pedigree. Post match, Lawler wants to interview Hunter Hearst Helmsley, talking about how much Fatu stinks. Um, as he's talking, and Triple H is basically saying, yeah, how ghastly and all that. He's talking with the posh accent and all that. Um, Henry Godwin, Henry Godwin sneaks up behind him, slot bucket in hand. Yeah, he's threatening to slop Triple H essentially, runs him off, comes back, threatens to slop King. Triple H, yeah, it's just basically, I think it's obviously building towards the Henry Godwin Triple H match where they have the hog pen match, obviously planting the seeds. Storytelling at this point was decent like that, like they would start off slow burning, like, but yeah. Then we get a quick backstage interview with Jim Cornette and British Bulldog. Cornette's basically saying Bulldog's planning to beat Diesel for the title tonight. He's already beat Diesel once, I think it was on a house show. They show the footage of that. And then Jim Cornette throws it over to Bulldog, and Bulldog just does his best to say some hype stuff, but it just reminds me of like a real golden era kind of promo from British Bulldog. Then we get a tag team match, the Smoking Guns versus Razor and Kid for the tag team titles. Again, can't really complain. I'd say the Fatu Triple H match, I'd say that was probably about a 2 star. This one, I'd probably give it an extra half star. Was fairly decent for me. Um, Razor hits the Razor's Edge. Kid's desperate to make the pin, so he tags him in. The pin gets reversed, and the Guns end up winning. Kid throws a tantrum. and attacks one of the guns, steals the belt that he's about to basically like lift up, kind of thing, and yeah, Razor jumps in. He's the real good guy here. He's stopping it all, telling Kid to sort it out, kind of thing. Gives the belts back to the guns. Little nod of respect and that. Yeah, really showing that like there's gonna be a problem now between Razor and Kid. Kid's attitude, whatever. Um, yeah, like I say, decent match, decent finish, protected Razor. Kid obviously takes the loss. No one really expected much from Kid. Obviously, Razor's doing the heavy lifting there. Like I say, for me, good match. Just give it a 2.5. You know what I mean? Might actually be one of the highest rated matches so far in your house history. Um, then we've got Doc Hendricks backstage selling merch. Cardboard cutouts of HBK and Bret Hart, and yeah, I wrote a note here. Like he says, no, this. You tell me if I'm wrong. He says, ladies, you can have HBK in your bedroom, Shawn Michaels in your bedroom, ladies, and then says, kids, how would you like to have Bret Hart watch you sleep? Now, considering the implications of the ladies having Shawn Michaels in the room, like, yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe as a kid that wouldn't have even registered, but as a grown adult with kids that's very overprotective, that shit messed with me. I'm not gonna lie. Um, then we get Marty Jannetty in the ring. We're getting Goldust premiere match, obviously his debut. Not quite the developed character that we all kind of remember from that era. He wasn't really playing up. He didn't know what the character was. He didn't really play up to any stereotypes or anything. He was just a very weird, peculiar, dressed person. But his wrestling, his mannerisms, nothing was really too peculiar. Match kind of went on a bit too long for a debut. I'm not gonna lie, but obviously Goldust isn't coming in to be a big dominant person. He's meant to be a difficult heel to beat. So fair enough, okay. But yeah, Goldust ends up hitting a face front suplex. There's no finisher name given to it. I'm presuming, if I remember right, I think his finisher was the curtain call. I know he had the Shattered Dreams where he just kicked him in the nuts, but I think it was the curtain call or the final curtain. But I'm not sure. Commentary didn't have a name for it, so we'll just face front suplex. I think is what Jr. called it. And as Goldust leaving, they actually mentioned that Goldust has got it in his contract for special gold lighting on his exits as well as his entrance, which I thought was a bit weird. Obviously, a unique thing. We don't see much like that now. It was a nice little touch. Obviously, they're trying to make it a bit more, seem a bit more real. You know what I mean? So okay. Moving to backstage, we've got the Guns and Kid on the superstar line. Goes to the ringside again. Now we've got a little package basically explaining the Mabel and Yokozuna match that's coming up. Essentially, it's punishment for them two teaming up and taking out Undertaker. Now, I think this is where Taker's face got crushed by Mabel and he had to come back with the Phantom of the Opera mask. But yeah, they say that this is the punishment for it. They're gonna make them face each other, kind of thing, and essentially Jim Cornette explains in a backstage promo that he feels that the match is literally because Monsoon's scared of what these two could do if they were on the same page. We get that little promo backstage, obviously, as King Mabel's making his entrance, being carried out by people. Obviously, get into the match. It's what from the Mabel Yokozuna. It was a 1-star match, and I guarantee just from hearing it, no one's questioning it. End of it comes where Mo pushes Cornette down and Yoko kind of staggers on top of him as it's kind of like a double count out to 9, gets to 10. Mabel's still not in the ring either. Double count out. Then everyone's in the ring, and to be fair, considering Yokozuna had just fell on Jim Cornette, this bit didn't really. I wasn't too happy. Like they could have done it without the bump for Cornette, but obviously it is what it is. But yeah, they get in ring. There's a little face off. Cornette and Mo are kind of back and forth in as well. And then next thing they hug it out and they're all on the same page and it's all a plan. And so Cornette didn't need to get squashed, and furthermore he wasn't really selling the squash at that point either. So it was like, well, it didn't need to be done. It kind of took away from it a little bit. Obviously, it's not much to take away from in the first place. Then we get a Survivor Series promo. Then we get the HBK forfeiting the Intercontinental title. A little bit too drawn out. They're trying to make it a bit emotional. I get it, but and then straight after, Douglas snatches the title off Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels leaves. We get Razor Ramon's entrance. He's pulling double duty tonight. Intercontinental title match. Went bad. 2-star match. Razor basically there's like a double down. He gets an arm over Shane Douglas during, and Douglas's legs clearly like really far under the rope, like nearly outside the ring essentially, and yeah, no one seems to notice that. Even JR and Vince don't believe it after seeing the replay until they see it a second time, but King saw it the whole time, which yeah, like it's just little things like that bug me a little bit, you know what I mean? The inconsistencies and stuff. All three of them should have seen it straight away and just been furious that the ref had missed it, kind of thing. But it is what it is. Then we get a depressed Shawn Michaels on the superstar line backstage. We cut to ringside. We've got Vince telling King that Bret Hart's due out. King saying if he comes out here, well, I'll give him one. And then obviously Bret Hart's music comes out. King shits himself. Bret Hart chases King off. He comes back for his crown once or twice, like really play it up. Gets ran off every time. Then we get Bulldog's entrance. Diesel like just outside, Gorilla outside the curtain, giving a quick promo. Well, Doc Hendricks is really excited to get some kind of comment from him, and he gives him like 3 words. Uh, yeah, it was just pointless. It was pointless. It was like Diesel was trolling Doc Hendricks before trolling was even a thing. Then we get Diesel versus Bulldog for the title. Diesel's matches on these In Your Houses are really like proving a point that like the general internet opinion on Kevin Nash and Diesel's yeah, man, like oh my, it's not doing them no favors in your house anyway, I'll tell you that much. Bulldogs heavily working the leg. Really slow match, real like new generation type. Not here for it. Not here for it. If we're gonna do new generation, golden generation stuff, like I'm like, let's do it correctly in it, not just a slow plodding like bullshit. But we're into the new generation now, and this constant back and forth falling into golden era type matches. It probably was a massive part of why the new generation didn't really thrive the way it should have. But yeah. Then the match ends up bubbling over to outside. Bulldogs randomly just near commentary outside the ring randomly decides to slap Bret. Bret fucking attacks Bulldog and yeah, DQ. Then we get a quick Bret and Diesel face off, fist fight. Officials come out, split them up. Even the baby faces come out, can't separate them. Chaos ensues and the show ends with everything going crazy, and it's meant to obviously build towards Bret and Diesel, I'm presuming, for the next one. But yeah, like I say, couple good matches throughout, but really like these main events, and like I say, killing it with like the big man matches, Mabel, Yoko and stuff. Uh, Vince really wasn't ready to let go of the golden era. That's all I can take from this. He really wasn't ready. He was 1 foot in, 1 foot out with the new generation. And already I'm kind of coming to the assumption of it's probably a major factor of why the new generation is considered one of the, well, especially financially, it's factually the lowest earning generation in general. Um, just across the board, ticket sales, merch, everything. But yeah, obviously when he really went away from the golden era and properly dropped that and just went with this new generation stuff, and essentially that became the attitude era because he just went full new generation, let full go of all the old tropes and stuff, and yeah, it became a whole new thing. So I feel like new generation's been unfortunate. If they'd have been given the chance to be the new generation, they could have been like the PG attitude era essentially, and that could have been really interesting. But so far, I'm just glad that we're getting closer to the ones that I owned on videos and VHSs as a kid. I'm really looking forward to International Incident and Buried Alive and all these good ones ahead. So yeah, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We'll be there soon to the classics, shall we say? But yeah, man. Catch you on the next one.